Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Rebecca and I help people with Bell's palsy. If you don't know what Bell's palsy is, check out one of my other videos. Today, the video is going to be on warm and cold compress. Should you or should you not use it? Which one do you use? How do you do it? Everything about it. So stay tuned. So what is a compress? A compress is any material that you put on your skin. So there's so many different types of compresses. There's warm compresses, there's cold compresses, there's dry, there's wet compresses. Some compresses even have herbals in them. Knowing which type of compress you should use is going to depend on your symptoms. And actually, some warm or cold compresses can actually make your symptoms worse. Did you know that? No, probably not. Most of us don't. We most likely associate cold compresses with reducing inflammation and warm compresses with helping reduce inflammation and get rid of pain. But there's more to it than that. Are you using the right one? Especially during Bell's palsy, you want to make sure you're using the right one to help alleviate your symptoms. So what are some of the benefits of using a warm compress? Well, first, to relieve pain, and two, to reduce inflammation, also to help bring blood flow to the area. Bringing blood flow to the area is extremely important. I can't stress this enough, extremely important. We want, since the nerve is compressed and you have all these symptoms on either side of your face or sometimes both, you want to bring circulation, more blood flow to your face to help get back some of the muscles, to help the muscles move easier. So another benefit of a warm compression is to relax the muscles and, like I've said, stimulate the blood flow, stimulate the area, stuff going on, relax the muscles, and to make it easier when you are going to do exercises with your face or with your some of your facial muscles. You're going to want to relax your face. So some of the benefits of the cold compress would be to reduce inflammation and swelling. But with cold compress, you think usually if you have a bruise or like a sore neck, there's actually some studies done that will help. Like they say, if you put some cold compress on your neck, it helps with your neck pain. But for this video specifically, we're just going to talk about warm compresses. So when should you use a warm compress? Well, it's easy. Is your muscle tight, or is all your muscles in your face tight? Is it stiff? Can you not move them that well? That's probably the right time to use it. Also, if you have pain, so a lot of times we get pain in our ear and along the cheek line and in the cheek itself, and sometimes down in your neck muscles. So this would be a perfect time to take out that warm compress and put some heat on it, no more than 20 minutes. Everybody says more than 20 minutes doesn't really do anything. You don't want the muscles so relaxed, but you don't want them to be cold either. So using it for about 20 minutes is the perfect timing. So when is it safe to use a cold compress? A cold compress, even though we like to stay away from cold compresses when you have Bell's palsy, a good time to use a cold compress is after you do your exercises, after you do your stretching. And you should maybe do it for about 5 minutes, if that. But the cold compresses, what it does is actually take away your pain and it actually numbs the area. And what we want to do is bring circulation back to your face, back to the affected area, and reduce that stiffness and be able to move. So, and we want to feel. So a good sign of knowing when you're going to heal is when you can start getting movement back in that face and that movement. So some people might experience like twitching or like tingliness a little bit. That's good signs. But when you use a cold compress is going to numb it. And that's the complete opposite of what we want to do. We want to actually feel stuff. We don't want it to be numb. So the good time to use a cold compress would be after you do your exercises, you're done for the day, and you can just put it on for about 5 minutes and it'll help reduce the swelling. So another time is after you do some of your facial exercises, or sometimes when you eat too much, your jaw starts to hurt or your mouth hurts. If it's sore, that would be a good time. Like after a good workout, you feel sore, that would be the good time to put the cold compress on it. Other than that, I would not recommend doing cold compress. So where can you buy these hot and cold compresses? Well, of course, typically any pharmacy or over-the-counter pharmacy you can buy them at. Another example would be like Walmart or Walgreens or Long's, or even some grocery stores have them. You can also find them on Amazon, decently priced, and you can also find them on my website, and I'll leave a link in the bio below to find them, the ones that I recommend. So some tips that to keep in mind when you're buying these compresses is buy it for the size. So if you're gonna do a face, you don't need a big one. You can use a smaller one. For your eyes, if you want, they come in little circles. And you can put them on your eyes. So there's so many different types out there, and just don't go overboard and get like the biggest and best, most expensive one. You don't even need that. Really, you can actually make this at home, and I'm a big fan of DIY. So if you don't want to spend the money, and on average they probably cost about $10 to $15. What you can do is actually the easiest way is to take a small towel, like a hand towel, and you're gonna put that in some water and drain it out, wring it out, and then put it in the microwave for about 30 seconds. Now, if it's too hot, you just take it out and just like wave it out and then put it on your face. And when I had Bell's palsy, what I did was just take a whole towel and just like lay there on the couch or in your bed, get comfy, and put the whole thing right on top of your face. And that way everything is being like, the muscles are relaxing, you're bringing more blood flow, and you don't have to just do the affected area. It's actually good to, when you do these exercises and stretches, to actually do them on both sides of your face. So the warm compress, you can do that. And if you want a cold compress, same thing. Get a towel, wring it, put some water on it, wring it out, and put it in the fridge or the freezer. I would say the freezer for about 10 minutes. That's it. And then just take it out. If sometimes it dries up, so just add a little bit more water, wring it out, cold water. Even just adding cold water to a towel and wringing it out and putting it on your face after your stretches is a good idea. Another DIY project, which is super simple, it's so easy, is take an old sock that you just don't know, like you just don't ever use, or take an old sock that you only have one pair left. And I like to take the long socks. So what you can do with the long socks is you take the long sock, make sure it's clean, of course, and you're gonna fill it with rice, or you can do beans, but usually uncooked rice is the best. And you can fill it with rice, and then you're gonna tie off the top, and then you're gonna just do the same thing, microwave it for about 30 seconds, maybe a minute. It may take a little bit longer. You can do that, and then you can put it on your face. If you want a more permanent solution, you can take a sock again, and then instead of tying it, you can actually sew it together. And sewing it together is just like a perfect thing. You can just like put it around. Another good option is when you're doing DIY compresses, is you can put some essential oils or herbs in there. And I hear a lot of my clients say all the time they have headaches, or really, really bad headaches. So a good way, a natural way to relieve your headaches is peppermint oil. Peppermint essential oil or mint essential oil is really good for headaches. So you could even put a couple drops of essential oils in the rice, like just a couple, or even on the outside, and then you can put it on your skin. And if you're gonna do stuff for headaches, I would recommend not putting it anywhere near your eyes. You don't want that in your eyes, but you can run it along the top of your forehead, around your ears, and the back of your neck. And that will help with your headaches and relieve some of that pain. And plus, peppermint just like gives us that energy, it wakes us up, it makes us feel alert, and it actually helps you with breathing. So some tips to keep in mind when you're doing warm or cold compress. One, remember that warm is going to help circulate and bring blood flow and relax everything. You don't want to do it more than 20 minutes. 20 minutes is like a good number. Even 10, 15 minutes is a good number. The other thing you want to keep in mind is when you're using hot and or cold, put a towel. If it's wet, put a towel in between, like on the affected area, and then put it on top. This way it prevents like irritation, and if it's too hot it might burn you, which we don't want. That's not going to do you any favors. That's going to make everything actually worse. So you're going to actually want to stick away from too hot. Obviously do something that's comfortable for you, but make sure that you have something protecting your skin. If it's not hot enough, go heat it up and then put it back on, but you don't want it like really on your skin. And if you break out or if you have any irritation, stop using it immediately. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, family, anybody that you know that has gotten Bell's palsy or any other stuff with like their muscles that need to relax and help like work on your muscles. This would be a good video for them. Thanks for watching.